Back. Very good discussions during the break. I want to mention one particular question I just had, which I think could apply to a lot of folks. So the question was, what if you have someone at work that you report to that is not nice to you and you're thinking about possibly leaving? Well, before you think about leaving, may I suggest you read the Carnegie book very quickly, because this could change your whole future. He gives examples of those types of situations throughout the book. Please write down, I will look for the good. I will look for the good, and as much as possible, disregard the bad. I will look for the good, and as much as possible, disregard the bad. Too often, we look for the bad and we focus on it. Well, my boss is never nice to me. My boss never appreciates me. You know, what I'm doing is I'm part of that problem. Because if I'm saying that, I'm literally building a wall between us, aren't I? I'm building an emotional wall between us. He's never nice to me, never appreciates me. I might as well just build a wall. What if for 90 days we fake it till we make it and write down, so-and-so is the nicest person in the world, he and I have become friends. What? Boaz, have you lost all your marbles? Not quite. Had a nurse in a big-time hospital in the Midwest come to me at a seminar. She said, Dr. So-and-so, the head of ER, he's got an ego bigger than all outdoors. He runs over everybody emotionally. He's just a really difficult person. I have to work around him all the time. I said, would you like to improve on that situation? Well, I'd give anything, of course. I have to work there. I had to get a piece of paper. I said, please write down. Dr. So-and-so is the nicest person in the world. She wanted to slap me. He is not. I said, but would you like him to be? Just write it down. Dr. So-and-so is the nicest person in the world. He and I have become friends. I said, I want you to read that out loud. The first thing every morning, the last thing every night. Don't analyze it. Just read it out loud. Give me 90 days of you doing that, and then call me and let me know what's happening. It didn't take 90 days. 3 weeks later, she called and said, oh my gosh, Boaz, a miracle. Dr. So-and-so has changed. He has become the nicest person in the world. He and I are becoming friends. Lo and behold, hallelujah, we have a winner. Thank you, no more calls. When she saw him differently, he began to respond differently. Does that make sense to anybody besides me? She saw him differently. What we see is what we get. And if you see somebody's being difficult, then you're helping that situation continue to be bad. So just fake it till you make it. And just look for the good. And not that I'm pointing fingers at anybody, but if you're in a relationship that you find is difficult, whether in marriage or whatever, then probably, as I used to do in the past, we're focusing on what that person isn't doing. How about focusing mentally in our own minds for a week or 2 or 3 about what they are doing that's okay? And just declare it out loud. So if you feel your spouse or your sweetheart is not loving anymore, why not just fake it for a while and just say, so-and-so, my sweetheart, is the most loving, warmest person in the world. And just go in the bathroom first thing in the morning, last thing at night, just say it out loud to yourself. Don't analyze it. Watch what happens in about 2 or 3 weeks. Things are going to get hotter than cream of wheat, okay? So just see things the way you want them to be, not the way you are declaring them. See, everybody's doing affirmations. Everybody. But most people are doing them backwards. This will never work. The economy is no good. The weather is not good. All of those are great affirmations in the wrong direction. So all I suggest is that you turn around some of your thinking and put it in a different direction. It's like a fellow goes the wrong way on a one-way street. Somebody says you're going the wrong way. It doesn't matter. They're all coming back anyway. So we're going to turn some of your thoughts around today. Because some of you are so close to a higher level of success. I'll tell you how close you are. 6 inches, the distance between your ears. But some people are so narrow-minded their ears touch. All right, any questions about what we've been doing so far? Any questions? All right, let's go to, yes, please.
It seems like a lot of this has kind of a sales orientation, and that might be just my perception of it, or maybe we can get into more later. But, you know, can your questions be distracting in different contexts? You know, I'm an engineer,
Okay, good point. Yes, it can be distracting if that's what you expect. I never expected it to be distracting. And I've gotten some of the busiest people in the world to literally stop their whole day to talk to me. So an example, San Diego wanted to meet with a very successful businessman. And he's very busy. So I keep calling and calling and calling to get an appointment. I want to discuss something with him. I'm sort of like a postage stamp, which is totally judged by its ability to stick to the job until it's done. So I keep calling. So I'm being walked down the hall to meet Mr. Johnson. Secretary says, Mr. Johnson has finally agreed to see you because you are so persistent you never stop calling. Now he has allocated exactly 10 minutes to speak with you. He is very busy. He's got 2 people waiting for him in the lobby. A committee is expecting him down the hall in 20 minutes. Please be cognizant of his time. I said, of course. All I did when I walked into his office is the following tone of voice. Mr. Johnson, I really appreciate you seeing me. I know you're very busy. Before we get to my little issue, I'm just curious. Where are you from originally? 45 minutes later, he's still talking about himself. 45 minutes later! Oh my gosh, I didn't realize we've been talking for 45 minutes, but I've so enjoyed talking with you. Why did he enjoy talking with me? Because what does the average person want from him? Money, power, influence. Would you agree? I wanted his story, and he stopped his whole day and gave it to me. He said, I kept those 2 people waiting in the lobby and the committee down the hall, but I've so enjoyed my time with you. And then he said, now what was it you wanted to chat with me about, Boaz? Oh, Mr. Johnson, it was just a little issue about so-and-so. He said, on your way out, just tell the secretary it's fine with me. All I can do is report to you. If we expect people not to talk to us, we will get people not talking to us. I expect everybody to talk to me. Now, there was this one ugly incident in Cincinnati, I will tell you because I'm honest. Okay, I'm doing a meeting with a group of CEOs. It's coming to noon time. It's about 10 minutes till noon. And a lady walks into the room. We have about 12 CEOs, 12, 15 CEOs in the room. And it's a very intimate situation. A person walked into the room. Let's not disregard. This lady walks in. She's dressed in a beautiful business outfit, carrying a briefcase. So I said, oh, we didn't expect so many people. Can we pull up another chair? Please, have a seat. And I said, my name is Boaz. What is your name? She said, Lori. I said, Lori, I've had the great privilege this morning of getting to know everyone around the room. I just simply ask a few questions so I get to know people. So I'm just curious, where are you from originally? She looks at me and says, why do you want to know? Oh, lady, the only thing I know for sure is I'm glad I'm not married to you. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And I'm thinking, lady, if you wanted to sell these CEOs anything after lunch, you have just ruined it with everybody. Who would agree? You have just ruined it with everybody. So, when I'm in a difficult moment with people, all I do is think about what would Dale Carnegie do? Dale Carnegie wouldn't back off. Mother also taught me, kill people with kindness. I said, Lori, I am genuinely interested in other people. That's why I ask my questions, and that's why I asked it of all the people around the table this morning. So as I said, I'm just curious. Where are you from originally? And she calmed down and answered all my questions. Everybody talks to me because that's what I expect. That's what I expect. So once again I say, we get what we expect. And that's what I expect. I've had the busiest people literally stop their whole day because I'm genuine. It's the tone. How many would agree? It's all the tone. It's all the tone. It's the genuineness and the tone. Good question. Any other questions? Any other questions? All right, we continue. First of all, there's a form on your table. Please take a look at this form. Please take a look at this form. I am in my 13th year of writing a weekly newsletter. If you would like my newsletter free, positive stories every Monday morning, then you can sign up for it free. But please print clearly. There's a stack in the middle of your table. Just hand it out. It's not in part of your handout. It's sitting in the middle of your table. There's a stack. Here it comes around. And it says, Boaz Program. So if you want my newsletter free, and by the way, people circulate these to their kids, they circulate it to their staff. You want a free motivation program every Monday? I'm going to give it to you. I'm in my 13th year of writing it. So put today's date, the location. Where are you from originally? And she calmed down and answered all my questions. Everybody talks to me because that's what I expect. That's what I expect. So once again I say, we get what we expect. And that's what I expect. I've had the busiest people literally stop their whole day because I'm genuine. It's the tone. How many would agree? It's all the tone. It's all the tone. It's the genuineness and the tone. Good question. Any other questions? Any other questions? All right, we continue. First of all, there's a form on your table. Please take a look at this form. Please take a look at this form. I am in my 13th year of writing a weekly newsletter. If you would like my newsletter free, positive stories every Monday morning, then you can sign up for it free. But please print clearly. There's a stack in the middle of your table. Just hand it out. It's not in part of your handout. It's sitting in the middle of your table. There's a stack. Here it comes around. And it says Boaz Program. So if you want my newsletter free, and by the way, people circulate these to their kids, they circulate it to their staff. You want a free motivation program every Monday? I'm going to give it to you. I'm in my 13th year of writing it. So put today's date, the location, Chico. Please print clearly or we cannot input. First and last name plus your email address. The USP thing we'll talk about in a moment. And if you would like more information about how this seminar could work very productively for your company, and you'd like more details, then fill out the bottom portion of the page. So if you'd like more information about how this seminar could be productive for your company, for your staff, for your team, with your clients and customers, then fill out the bottom part of the page. So you can take time as we continue to fill out that form, and then just leave them in the middle of the table and we'll collect them later. By the way, what I do with my weekly newsletter is a really powerful marketing technique. You should be sending something out to your customers not once a month. That's an eternity in today's world. Not once every 2 weeks. How about once a week? Just a short line, something of value for your customers. Something that they wouldn't necessarily know, but keep your name in front of people. So let's look at the marketing ideas. That's another part of your handout. Please take a look. It's entitled appropriately, Boaz Marketing Ideas. What a concept. My goal is for you to get one or two of these that you say, oh my gosh, that is powerful. That is powerful. Number one, call the local media. So did you find the marketing pages? It says Boaz Marketing Ideas. All right. Number one, call the local media. Call the local TV stations, the local radio stations, the newspaper, the business journal. Tell them I'm sick and tired of hearing all the negative business news in our part of California. Our company's doing great, and I think you ought to come on and interview me. Now, for some of you, this will be under the fake it till you make it category, okay? Just do it. I used to be an assignment editor at Television Newsroom years ago, and when if somebody would call, if you would call and you're enthusiastic about your company, I'd probably send a crew out just to see what you're all about. And they come back, and it's an interesting feature. You look good on camera. Your company looks interesting. It does both of us good for me to put you on the news tomorrow night. Local business doing good in the economy. Makes us look good as a station, makes you look good. Anybody gotten any free publicity in the last year? Anybody got any free publicity? Okay, what kind? What newspaper, TV, radio, what was it? Okay, isn't it wonderful? It doesn't cost anything, though, to get the free publicity, does it? Okay, and I challenged somebody in a meeting the other day. I said, call CNN. What? They're just a 24-hour TV station. They need a lot of content. That one person did call CNN. They came out and did a feature on their company. They ran it on CNN worldwide. Now they put on all their emails at the signature as seen on CNN worldwide. What? Did you see what it says there? These people are big. These people are big. All it took was one phone call to Atlanta. One phone call. And they did a feature on them on CNN worldwide. Chicago, a few years ago, during the most difficult part of the economy, a CEO told me about his company about to go broke. They do remodeling work in big office buildings downtown Chicago. I said, call the local media. Get yourself some publicity right now before you go out of business. 3 weeks later, he sends me a huge feature with pictures, half-page spread, the front of the business section of the Chicago Sun-Times. Oh my gosh, I don't even want to know how much that would have cost as an ad. Wouldn't have been a tenth as effective. They get lots of calls. Oh my gosh, we saw you in the paper. Well, we're very successful, glad you called. That one article kept them from going bankrupt. That one article, because everybody thought they were doing great. So who's willing to commit to calling the local media in the next couple of weeks? Come on, just raise your hands. Just do it. What do you got to lose? Now, if this is difficult, life's going to be rough. Work with me, okay? All right, so call the local media. Idea number 2, the FedEx. Oh, this one is so much fun. Oh my gosh, this is so much fun. What if you could identify 10 potential new clients that you don't have at the moment? 10 ideal new clients. Well, if you ask me, this list over here, I'd love to have these companies as my customers. Fine. Identify the CEO of each one of those. How difficult is that? Call the receptionist. Who's the CEO? Write a one-page handwritten letter to each one of those 10 CEOs. One-page handwritten letter. I know what some of you are saying. Boy, my handwriting is not very good. Okay, I have 2 words for you. Slow down. Okay? Your handwriting is much more powerful than something typed up or an email of 2 paragraphs. Who would agree? Your handwriting. All right. One-page letter stating, with our expertise at X, Y, and Z, I think we can be of service to your company. I'd like to set up a meeting for coffee. With our expertise doing this, this, and this, I think we could be of service to your company. I'd like to set up a meeting for coffee. And then you send that letter to each one of those 10 CEOs once a week, every week, same day, by FedEx, until they call. Until they call. Now I'm going to save you some money on this. You can send it on a Wednesday for a 3rd-day delivery. They will not look in the upper right-hand corner. They'll think it came overnight. You'll save some money. All right. 4th week. By the way, if your secretary got a FedEx from me every Monday morning relentlessly, wouldn't somebody eventually open it up? What is this, one of those FedEx stalkers? Now, those FedEx people have done a great job selling all of us. If it comes in a FedEx overnight envelope, it must be important. Come on, they don't just put junk in that stuff. 4th week, if you don't get some responses, no problem. Start adding some little yellow Post-it notes right on top of your original letter. One says, I'm sure glad you finally opened this. Another says, aren't you impressed with how I got your attention? Oh no, we don't like people who do things out of the box. 7th week. Anybody here a baseball fan? We do what we call in baseball a change-up. Instead of the letter, you send a brand new baseball, little cardboard box by FedEx. The note says, I'm the one sending the Monday morning. FedEx says, sooner or later we will play ball, so give me a call. And if you think that is silly, well, you ought to talk to the Omaha, Nebraska CEO, who right after the baseball got a call from the CEO of a billion-dollar company. Are you the one sending me those FedExes every Monday morning? Yeah, that's me. Are you the one who sent me that baseball this morning by FedEx? Yeah, that's me. You are so silly. Get yourself over here. That silliness turned into a profit of over $500,000 over the next couple of months. I'd say that's a good pitch, wouldn't you? Thank you. We move on. Week number 10. If you don't get some responses, no problem. We do another change-up. Send one brand new shoe in a box to each one of them. You only need 5 pair, okay? One brand new shoe in a box. The note says, I'm the one sending the Monday morning FedExes, and now that I got one foot in the door, call me. And if you have a better campaign that will cost you less money and get you better results, you ought to be doing it. You ought to be doing it. And so somebody said the other day, well, boys, what if somebody calls and they're upset? Oh, I love that. Are you the one sending me those FedExes every Monday morning? Yeah. When are you going to stop? When you see me. Shall we make it tomorrow or the next day? Aren't you impressed with how I got you to call me? How would you like for me to be able to do something like that for you? Checkmate. Yes. How many think this might be a cool idea, this one, the FedEx? I think it's wonderful. Have you got a better idea? You ought to be doing it. So somebody told me in a meeting the other day, a CEO who'd been to one of my meetings before, he said, oh my gosh, Boaz, I think somebody's been doing this to me. I said, what happened? Well, this company owns a bunch of apartment buildings in a big city. And on a Monday morning, by FedEx arrives a beautiful cut glass jar full of M&Ms addressed to the CEO. All it says is Harry the Painter on the label. That's all it says, Harry the Painter. Next Monday morning, another cut glass design full of M&Ms, Harry the Painter. This goes on every week for 5, 6, 7 weeks. By now the CEO is telling the secretary, now this one's really beautiful, put this one in the lobby, put this one in our boardroom, put this one over here, put this one over here. 8th week, CEO gets a call. His secretary says, Mr. Johnson, there's somebody on the phone who insists he must speak with you immediately. Well, who is it? What is his name? He said, all he said is to tell you his name is Harry the Painter. Put him through. Mr. Johnson, this is Harry the Painter. I think you know me by now. Oh, are you the one sending those cut glass jars with him? Oh, yeah. I'm glad you like him. Now, Mr. Johnson, I went by your building at 4th and M Street the other day. It looks like it could use a new coat of paint. May I bid on that job? All right, Sherlock Holmes, who gets to bid on that? Who does it? Who now has a staff of 20 painters that does all the painting for the entire company in their entire city? Harry the Painter. That is sweet success. Yeah. All right, we keep moving. Here's the next idea. The client brainstorm. All right, put together a meeting of the CEOs of your top 10 clients, if it's at all possible. Now, if geographically somebody's at a distance, do a video hookup. Now, if anybody competes with each other, 2 separate meetings. I don't want anybody uncomfortable. So let's say I've got a group of 10 CEOs. They're the CEOs of my 10 top clients. Tell them first how much you appreciate them. Please write down again from what I said earlier. Appreciation is the core of great relationships. Appreciation is the core of great relationships. Without every one of you doing business with my company, I would be out of business. And I want you to know how grateful I am to each one of you CEOs. Tell me, when do you think is the last time they ever got called to a meeting like this? Can we say never? So I pulled all of you together to tell you how much I appreciate you. That's the first thing you want to do, because appreciation is the core of great relationships. By the way, there's another rule of powerful meetings. If you ever see somebody looking at somebody else's paper, as I just did, they're not cheating. They just missed what you just said. Back up. Back up. Well, I would have loved to have heard what he said. He was just rushing through that so much. So if you see somebody looking at somebody else's paper, they're not cheating. They missed what you just said. So that last point was appreciation is the core of great relationships. And then, because I appreciate all of you, we're talking to our CEOs, I wanted us to meet and to brainstorm about powerful marketing techniques that can help all of us get more business. And I will start. And you can start by giving them this. The only thing I request is you change my name to yours. These are now your ideas. These are now your ideas. So I'd like to hand this out. This is a list of marketing ideas that I've come up with. You can take full credit. Fine. I want you to get full credit. And then go through each one of these. And now, anybody else have any other ideas? Let's add those to a list up here on an email that will go as a follow-up to everybody, with a note that I want us to get together again 90 days from today and see how these ideas worked. Tell me if I'm wrong in the following. If any one of those CEOs comes to a point where they need to cut back what they're doing with somebody else, and they come to your company name, no, let's not cut back what we're doing with Eduardo's company, because you'll remember he's the one who called me for that marketing meeting, gave me those good ideas. If anything, we should be doing more business with him and less with somebody else. Who would agree that's human nature? Come on. People are as interested in me as I am in them. So that is the client brainstorm. Number 4, the employee brainstorm and team building. Oh my gosh, this is really huge. This is really, really huge. Call a meeting of all your employees. Preferably, I'm suggesting something bold. Have a 30-minute Monday morning meeting with everybody, like a pep rally. Have some upbeat music before you go into the room. Tell people, give a report what's been going on in the last week. I think one of the worst things that can happen in any company is for people to wonder what's really going on here. Who would agree? What's really going on here? Are we okay? Are we not okay? What happened? Are we getting any business? That will eat you up from the inside. But what if you had a Monday morning meeting? Good morning, everybody. Let me report to you what happened in the last week. We had some really good things happen, and here they are. We had a couple of little challenges. Anybody have any ideas how we can fix that a little bit? Don't make the whole meeting about the challenges. Embellish the good, diminish the bad. Please write that down. I'll embellish the good. This is from the Carnegie book. I'll embellish the good and diminish the bad. So here are the good things that happened last week. We got this new contract. What does that do for everybody? What? We got a new contract. It means the company's doing good. Hey, I want to help with that. Now we have a couple of challenges, so I'd like to go around, see if anybody else has an idea how we can fix that. Recognize people. I want to recognize Harry, who came up with an idea last week that can help us save some money and so forth and so on. And if somebody comes up with an idea, give them a prize right there. Here, the $100 bill for the idea of the week. Wait a minute, I want to give an idea. I want to give an idea. So the key line to ask your people for help is the following: I need your help. I need your help. I think when we do that genuinely, it makes us look bigger rather than smaller. Who would agree? I need your help. If you were the head of this division, if you were the head of this department, if you were the head of this company, how would you lower expenses, improve productivity, and get more clients? You're smart, you're capable. So if you were me, how would you lower expenses, improve productivity, and get more clients? So, and if you have somebody new in your company, the Monday morning meeting is a great time for them to introduce themselves to everybody. And you can tell somebody ahead of time. Now, Lori, you're new at our company. In our Monday morning meeting, we always like to learn about new people. So I'm going to be asking you these questions at the Monday morning meeting. And I give her the card with the 5 questions. And if you don't mind, Lori, if you have some pictures of your kids or, of when you were in school or whatever, you can share with everybody. Please bring those with you. And we get to meet the new person. We ask them the 5 questions. They get to show some pictures of the background, husband, family, and so forth. Makes them feel important. Makes them feel like part of a team. Who thinks that might be a grand idea? So if you can just bring some pictures and things, these are the questions I'll be asking you, so there's no surprise here. I'm not going to make anybody uncomfortable. So who's willing to commit to either a weekly 30-minute meeting or at least one meeting to ask your people for ideas over the next 30 days? Who's willing to commit? Hold your hands up. Please work with me. I think your greatest assets are your employees. Who would agree? Those are your greatest assets. So at a company somewhere in the East Coast, the CEO called a meeting of his employees the day after my meeting. And he said, I need your help. He first told people how much they meant to him. Give compliments at those weekly meetings. Give compliments. Specific people and people as a team. And he said, anybody have any ideas on how we can lower expenses, improve productivity, or get more clients? One lady came up with one idea that's going to save that company over $100,000 over the next 6 months. Wait a minute. Why didn't I think of that? Because I'm not running my warehouse. That man or that woman is the president of my warehouse, and she said, why don't we do it this way? What? $100,000 savings over the next 6 months. Amazing. Simply amazing. All right, so let's go to idea number 5. This is almost unfair. This is almost unfair. How many of you would agree with me? The handwritten note card. The handwritten note card. Anybody sent one out in the last year and gotten a really good result? Anybody sent one out? What happens in the first table over here? You raise your hand. Did you send a note card to somebody? And they love it, don't they? All right, let me tell you more about how we're going to do the note card. Here are the rules for how to do note cards that work beautifully for you. Do not use note cards with your company logo. Do not. If you have a bunch of those, I suggest trash them. I don't care how much you spend on them. You're going to get more this way. Do not use note cards with your name printed on them. Why? Because they might think that you have a bunch of those and you send them to everybody. Go to CVS or Walgreens, pick up a bunch of blank note cards. This is by Hallmark. Nice design on the front, but it starts blank on the inside. They have no idea you did not go and personally pick it up for them. My gosh, it's got nothing commercial on it. He picked it up for me, or she did this just for me. How many agree? It's very personal this way, much more so than if your name is printed on them. So you start with blank note cards. These come in a box. You get like 20 of these for $8, at the drugstore. Never a return address on the envelope. Never a return address. Why? Because I want to force people to open up your card immediately. The drama. Oh, it's from so-and-so at that company. I'll look at it later. We just lost the impact. You understand? We just lost the impact. Who's this from? I don't know. I better open it up. And if you're sending this to a high-level executive and you want to bypass all the gatekeepers, put the word personal down here. If I'm your secretary, I'm not opening that up. Might be an invitation. I don't know what it is. I'm passing it right to you. Always handwritten. Always handwritten. Remember the words slow down? Never metered. Always stamps. But not just any stamps, commemorative stamps. Seriously, they look different. They look different, don't they? They look different. Look at that. The 100th anniversary of flight. There's Orville, there's Wilbur. You just got me involved in your card. I haven't even opened it up yet. So only do the following if you want to get a bunch of new business or a bunch of goodwill. That would be the only reason you would do the following. Okay, otherwise you shouldn't be doing this. On your desk, the blank note cards. On your desk, the envelopes with commemorative stamps. The home addresses of all your employees and the addresses of all your clients. Send one short note card a day for 30 days and watch how it rocks your world. One short note card a day. Now let me be clear, we're not writing the second coming here, okay? This is one line. This is one line. Dear Michael, you've been a good employee for 8 months. Thank you so much, Boaz. Dear Natalie, you've been a good customer for a year. Thank you so much, Boaz. Now, if there's any reason the person on the outside may not recognize me instantly by my first name, because the note is first names only, I can include my business card behind the card. So I include the business card. But don't put your street address and phone number on the card. Too commercial. The card is totally personal. Your business card can go behind it. So how many of you are willing to take me up on this challenge? One short note card a day for 30 days. Watch how it rocks your world. Just do it. What have you got to lose? What have you got to lose? Okay? So let me tell you how powerful that is. As soon as I ask you to stand up again, you seem to enjoy hugging, so give somebody else a hug. Stand up. Stand up.
Hey, how you doing?
What a pleasure. All right, sit down, sit down. Wait, I enjoy hugging you a lot. So here we are again. You all are so cool. All right, sit down, sit down, sit down. All right, let's not turn it into a party. Okay, 59 minutes to finish changing your life. 59 minutes to finish changing your life, and it is 64 degrees. I feel like a disc jockey again. But as long as you tell me what lunch and recess are, I'll stick with you. So if you're doing a meeting that goes into a third hour, give time cues. Give time cues. As what if people are hungry or tired and they have no idea how long you're going to go, they get very tired. So give time cues. Well, I can stick with them for that much longer. Okay, so give time cues. So let me tell you what happened. The day after a CEO meeting where I spoke, a CEO thinks about the fact that he lost a big client about 3 years ago. Huge client, very lucrative. Why did we ever lose that client? He doesn't even remember what happened. So he goes by the drugstore, he picks up the blank note cards. He goes by the post office, gets some commemorative stamps, writes a note to the CEO of the other company. Dear John, whatever we did to lose your business 3 years ago, I'm eternally sorry for. I'd give anything to sit down and have coffee with you and talk. The CEO gets it on his desk 2 days later. What is this? Who's this from? It says personal. Who's this? Oh my gosh, that's from that company we used to do business with. He was so shook up by getting the handwritten note card this way, he called him right away. I said, Michael, I just got your handwritten note card. I'm so shook up. You're right, I don't know what happened. Get yourself over here for lunch tomorrow. He got the business back that week, one note card. All I can do is report to you. And some people are going to sit there and say, it can't be that simple. Well, everybody has a right to be wrong, okay? In my humble opinion, it is that simple. Who would agree? It is that simple. As the average person competing with you will say, it can't be that simple. Let them continue saying that while you walk right through and get the business. I want to give you shortcuts. These are shortcuts. Got it? All right. So let's go on with the next idea. Let's talk about the internet for a moment. If you're not using the power of the internet, in my humble opinion, you're missing the boat. But here's my problem with the internet. I don't know if it's my age or my culture. All you have to do is mention the word social media, and I want to turn and run. I don't want to tweet and bird and do all the other stuff. I just don't want to. Okay? But I also don't want to be left behind. So what if we can focus on one element of the internet to get you and your company more business? How many would agree the word is video? Video. Why does YouTube get 4 gazillion hits a day? Because people love videos. Now tell me, because I think I'm confused on this, how much does it cost to have your own YouTube channel? It must cost a fortune, because not many people have one. 0, I'm shocked. Shocking revelation. I thought that's why more people didn't have one. I have 400 videos on my YouTube channel. I've been viewed by over 120,000 people, and I don't have that many relatives, okay? All right? Now, let's save you some money on this. There is no need to have videos professionally produced. People want to see you as a person. Who would agree? They just want to see you as a person, so don't spend any money on this. None of your videos should sell anything. Don't sell anything on any videos. Please write down, I'll be an educator in my field. I'll be an educator in my field. People like learning from somebody who seems to know some things. And then, please write down, I'll develop a killer core story. A killer core story. So what's a killer core story? It's something interesting about your industry that nobody else would know. A killer core story. So how do you find a killer core story? Oh, it turns out to be quite simple. You go to Google and type in a question. The history of insurance companies. The history of landscaping. The history of this. The history of this. You never know what you could come up with that suddenly makes you look like an educator. So somebody in one of my seminars says, Boaz, once again, you're making it all sound so simple. So I said, sir, what do you do? He said, I have a landscaping company. I said, great. Anybody in the room have a laptop? Somebody did. I said, can you go to Google? Would you please type in the history of landscaping? I have no idea what we're going to come up with, but I'm daring. What the heck? 2 seconds later, we learned that in Babylon, 6,000 years ago, those Persians were able to irrigate their gardens uphill. The hanging gardens of Babylon. Oh my gosh, how did they do it? Oh, it turned out to be quite simple. They had a pulley system, and the guy at the bottom of the hill would crank this wooden wheel, and a rope would move down, and every few feet on the rope, there was another rope hanging down, and there was a bucket suspended from that rope. And when they got down to the pond, they filled up the bucket, and they cranked it back uphill. So to that CEO's credit, they changed their whole marketing plan that day after I came along. They now have billboards in their city that say, did you realize the first irrigation was uphill in Babylon 6,000 years ago? ABC Landscaping. What? I suppose if I want a landscaping company, I might want somebody who knows that much. How many of you are excited about getting your own killer core story? Come on. Come on. Go to Google. Come up with something I don't know. Makes you look like an expert. And then if it only cost you $23.95, but it made you look like you have just launched your own television network on the internet, how many of you might be interested in investing that? I'm not selling it today, but I can tell you where to get it. $23.95 to make you look like you launched your own television network on the internet. Would you just raise your hand? Some of you work with me. Come on, come on, come on. All right. What do the television reporters have in their hands to make them look like a reporter? Microphone. What does that microphone have on it? Their logo. Oh my gosh. Everybody please close your eyes. Everybody please close your eyes for a moment. Just close your eyes for a moment. Close your eyes. Now open your eyes. Hello. This is all you have to do to make it look like you've launched your own television network. This is a microphone, and this is a microphone flag. And you can buy it at a commercial audio place either here or in Sacramento or on the internet for $23.95. Oh, wait. Let's be honest with you. You will need to buy some Scotch tape. Lori, will you verify I Scotch tape my logo to it? Yeah, I Scotch tape my logo to it. Okay, so there's additional expense here on all four sides. This got foam on the inside. When I put my microphone through it, and I don't even care if you don't plug the microphone into anything. Just hold your microphone. Just hold your microphone. And everywhere I go, people think I'm part of the networks. I was in New York City, Times Square. I'm shooting one of my videos. People are walking up. Are you with the networks? Yes, I am, and we're filming here. Please, please. I was in front of the White House in Washington. A couple from Spain walks up. They don't speak much English. They look at me. They think I'm a network correspondent. Oh! I had to have my picture taken. I was in Bourbon Street shooting one of my episodes. People are walking up behind me, waving at the camera like we're on the air right now. Hi, Mom. Hi, Mom. I leave all this stuff in. People love it. People love it. And by the way, when you look into the camera, whatever your company name is, add the word nation. Add the word nation, like the Raider Nation. So this is the XYZ Nation. You are part. Oh, there's the line. You are part of the XYZ Nation. Did you hear what he said? This must go to millions. This is huge. This is huge. This is big time stuff. It's all perception in America. Would you agree? It's all perception. I'm serious. So how many of you are now excited about launching your own television network? Come on, work with me. Work with me. What have you got to lose? What have you got to lose? What have you got to lose? People write to me and they say, my gosh, everybody thinks we've launched our own network. Everybody thinks we've got launched our own network. Now, if you're not sure what you should do as far as content for some of your videos, write down 10 things people have told you that are good about your company in the last 5 years. Surely everybody's heard something good about your company. 10 things they like about your company. There are your first 10 topics. There are your first 10 topics. So I had somebody at a big convention in Palm Springs say, Boaz, once again, you're making it sound so simple. It can't be that simple. So I said, sir, would you do me a favor? Would you go outside for me for just a moment? I handed him my microphone. He shot a 2-minute video. You know, it just dawned on me, first of all, I shoot with a $1,200 Sony Handycam, shoots in high definition. But if I could just get my hands on a camera that would be a little more portable and a little less expensive, there's your camera right there. There's your video camera right there. So I had this man walk outside with me. I handed him my microphone. I shot a 2-minute video with him holding my microphone. I then emailed it to the audiovisual guy inside, and 2 minutes after that, we showed it in front of 200 people on a giant screen. And the man came on the stage and said, Boaz is right, it is that simple. It is that simple. So, it's probably the moment I should apologize to all of you. I'm a certified hypnotherapist. I would like for you to now erase this picture from your mind and what this microphone could do for your company to make you look gigantic. Okay, I should not have done this, so just erase this picture. Do not any longer think about the potential of what this could do for your company and the fact that it only cost you a very little bit of money. Okay? So I'm sorry for doing this. Just disregard what I've just done. Okay, do not think of this any further. It's too late, isn't it? Okay. All right, we move on. We move on. All right, and then number 7. Oh, this is huge. Oh my gosh. A unique selling proposition. This is so big. Anybody ever heard of USP? Anybody know what it's a unique selling proposition? What is it intended to do? It's intended to stop everybody in their tracks and have them make an impression of you and your company. Most people want to tell you too much about their company. And did anybody remember that 2 minutes later? No. No. It's a unique selling proposition. Companies pay a fortune for this. You're about to get it free because you're here today. And I'm going to create some USPs for some of you on the spot today. You know some USPs. What company says we bring good things to life? GE. Now, if we didn't really know what they did, wouldn't that at least intrigue us? What good things? What do they have to do? What do they bring to life? I know that was researched at great expense, and I know it's trademarked. It's trademarked. Companies pay a fortune for this. So how many of you, with my enthusiasm, if you did not have to pay me a penny, would love to hire me as your salesman? Every head should go up. What does it take here? No, it doesn't cost you anything. What does gee, there's your problem right there. Not hiring somebody who's willing to work for nothing. Work with me. Okay, I'm not a customer for any one of your companies today. I'll guarantee that instantly. However, I meet a lot of people. Think about this, 147 seminars last year, all over the US and Canada. What are the odds that I met somebody that would be a great customer for you? About 100%. About 100%. So, here's all you have to do. My mind runs like yours at the rate of about 1,500 words a minute. I know I look like I'm physically in front of you, and I am, but if you had a visual picture of my thought patterns, it'd be like an airplane flying by. Whoosh! And what you want to do is grab me by my thoughts and say, hold it, big boy, pay attention for a second. And I pay attention, and I may be 6 months or a year later, somewhere up here in this part of California, and somebody says something that has to do with your industry. I say, wait a minute, wait. Call Sam, call Scott, and you get a call out of nowhere. Somebody was telling me about you guys. How many of you would love to get a bunch of those free calls? Free calls. So if you're going to say hello to somebody, stop them in their tracks. So here are the 4 steps to creating a USP. And take a look at your handout. I've actually committed a whole page to the USP because it's really, really valuable. There's your page, creating your USP. Creating your USP. And by the way, everybody, how's business? Excellent. Okay, so the idea is to stop everybody in their tracks, get them to make a mental impression so they'll talk to somebody else about you. Number 1, it should be short. I totally disagree with these long elevator speeches. We do this, and this. What, do you have a prisoner going up 100 flights? The only thing they're going to remember is the fact they got away from you at the elevator, okay? Enough is enough. GE, 6 words. We bring good things to life. If it's 8 or 9, in my opinion, too long. Okay? Keep it short. Number 2, not logical. Not logical. We make widgets, we build buses. Too logical, easy to forget. What's logical about just do it? Okay? So short, not logical. Number 3, start with the word we. Oh, there are people involved. It's not just a building somewhere. They're actually human beings. That sounds kind of interesting. And number 4, it should include the word you. I was taught in marketing classes, when you include the word you get me involved. Otherwise, you're talking about some other people over there. So the line we want to fill in, and you're about to get my creativity free. Companies charge a fortune for this. Is we do what? We do blank what for you. We do what for you. So anybody want me to help you with a USP right on the spot? Okay, let's work on this. So give me the basic words that describe what you actually do. Go ahead and tell me exactly what you do.
We are a church.
Okay, you're a church.
We've been in Chico for about 150 years now.
Okay, so your aim is to get more people to join the church?
No, actually, we're working on a campaign for long-term giving for estate planning.
Okay. So they're wanting people to give more money to the church. So what would be a USP? We do what for you? Please write down, we turn your money into peace of mind. Please do. Okay, but you might want to write mine because it might be good. So with all due respect, what's your idea?
Oh, my idea was make the same, using your idea, we're here for Chico, we're here for you.
Okay, it's fine. It's a little too long for me. It's a little too long. I would just say we're here for you and leave it at that. Everybody make a note. The shorter, the stronger it is. The shorter, because too many people want to tell too much. So if you give me too much, all I remember is the last word. So we're here for you. Insinuating I must have a problem or I have a need. Why would you be here for me, you know? You want to force me to say, what are you talking about? Because if you don't, it's not working as a good USP. Okay, here's the key word in creating a USP. Companies charge a fortune for this, hundreds of thousands of dollars. You're getting it because you're here this morning. The word disruptive. Please write down the word disruptive. You want to be disruptive in my thought patterns. You understand that? You want to be disruptive in my thought patterns. Because my mind is working very smoothly, and you give me something I'm satisfied with, I'm gone. You understand? I'm gone. But you want to disrupt me, so I have to come back and say, excuse me, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Okay? And what else for a church that's looking for people to donate money to help in the causes that you all work on and so forth? We do what for you? Anybody else? Anybody else? We do what for you? Some of you think too much logic. I can feel from your brains. That's not going to get you more business. So just loosen, let go of that. Oh, I'm sorry? We give for you. You see, that's cool. That's very cool. You want words that don't seem like they belong together. You give for me. It sounded okay to start with, but then she threw in the other two words. You see, I cannot go on to talk to anybody else because you have just messed with my brain. Anything else?
We have faith in you.
Oh, hello. A free lunch right there. I would make isn't that cool? Yeah, isn't that cool? Okay, and Ann, are you part of the same or different?
No, I actually run the recreation department.
Okay, like for the city or something? Okay, please write down, we recreate for your future. We recreate for your future. Isn't that what we want, for kids to be in a good shape and so forth? Okay, is it mostly recreation centers and so forth? And parks? Okay, please write down, we park your future. We park your future. What? What is she talking about? That's so weird. What is she talking about? And get this, when she explains, I'm thinking, how creative was that? Did you see the way she just stopped me? How good must they be? That is the analysis. Who would agree? If she was so creative to just stop me, how good must they be? Because the average person is going to tell you the whole lowdown. Anybody else? Anybody else want me to create a USB? Yes?
Create unbelievable business applications and websites.
Okay, so you create websites for people? Yeah. Okay, let's get something a little shorter. But although I like what you said, Jason, we create unbelievable for you, period. We create unbelievable for you. Okay, another one for you. We weave your web of success. We weave your web of success. Isn't that what a web is? It gets woven. And another one, we take your message to the world. We take your message to the world. Anybody else? Yes, what are we doing? Okay, so you manage office buildings or houses? All of it. Okay. Please write down, we manage your concerns. We manage your concerns. Property management. Okay, what else for a property management company? We do what for you? We do what for you? Oh, please write down, we are your best properties. Plural. We are your best properties. Could be anything. Could be a life coach, but it's exactly what they do. So anything else for that? Anything else? I'm sorry? We house your safety. Very nice. What I'm suggesting is eventually get a list of 10 potential ones, Google them, see if anybody else in the world is using it. Even if they are, as long as it's an unrelated industry, you can trademark it for yours. And once it's trademarked, it ought to be on everything. Stationery, websites, business cards, everywhere, everywhere. And by the way, because you're here today, there's a very special event here. I'm trying to see, is my contact information anywhere on the handout? Okay, you have my email address somewhere? Okay, because you're here today, if you want to send me a list of 10 potential USPs, I'll do my analysis for you at no charge. Seriously, because you're here today. I was taught, give everything you've got. I'm here to give you everything I've got. Companies charge a fortune for this. I'm willing to do it for you at no charge. You give me a list of 10. I say, I like number 1, but what about combining the words of number 2 and number 9? Let's test this one, let's test this one. Anybody else while I'm here? Anybody else want me to come up with a USP for you on the spot? What do we do? Okay. Advertising on billboards. Oh, we make your messages big. We make your messages big. What is he talking about? Anything else for a billboard company? Oh, hello. No wonder she plays in the park. You won't be bored with us. Isn't that cool? Now you're thinking. I love it. Anything else for a billboard company? Anything else? Okay, anybody else? A free USP right here on the spot. I'm really good at this, yes? Okay, so do you all design pipelines and things? Please write down, we're your pipeline to success. We're your pipeline to success. Or we keep your success moving. We keep your success moving. Anything else? The key words are engineering and pipelines. Is that right? Any other key words? Thank you. That is just lovely. Lovely. We help you get gas. But realize, if you will, we're not trying to win a Peabody here. He just got a whole room full to react. I would be writing that one down. I'd be writing that one down. We're not trying to win a popularity contest here. We just want to stop everybody. But some people come up with these flowery slogans for their companies. Oh, that's a lovely slogan. Let me ask you something. Is that getting you any business? Well, no, but it sounds good. Trash it! Because when I help people get a USP, they get business. It stops people. People write to me and say, Boaz, we're getting a lot of calls because we have a strong USP, and we know it's because of the USP, because they always start the same way. Somebody was telling me about you guys. Somebody was telling me about you guys. All right, one more. Anybody else want a USP? What do we do? We have what? You make fuel tanks? Your legal fuel tank source. Okay, it tells me enough to be gone. Okay, okay. So wait a minute, you all manufacture fuel tanks? Okay, that are what, used in service stations or where? No, for trucks. Oh, the ones that go down the road. Okay. Oh, please write down. We fuel your concerns. We fuel your concerns. What else? For fuel tanks that go down the road, filled with gasoline mostly, is that right? Yes. All right, what else? Oh, please write down, we are your driving ambition. We are your driving ambition. Anything else? I'm sorry? I love that too, right there. We fuel your success. Could be a life coach, but it's exactly. Our tanks keep you moving. Oh, it sounds like a military campaign. I like it. Yeah, please write it down. Please write it down. But do you see how those would stop people? You see how it would stop? I cannot go on. If you give me one of those, I have to ask, excuse me, what are you talking about? And you got my total attention, and maybe a year from now, somebody needs something like what you do, and I tell them, well, here's your call. Call Chico, and you get a call. And you were going to say hello to me anyway. Why not make me your salesman? How many agree this is really important? This is really, really important. Huge. All right, 36 minutes away from the end of the program, so there's your USP information. Oh, number 8 on the marketing ideas. This is really powerful. Change your voicemail. Change your messages on your cell phone, on your phone at work. Change your message and turn it into a very nice commercial. Instead of saying, this is John, I'm sorry I missed your call. Say, this is John. We're busy helping someone design a new fuel tank that's going to save them money, and we can do the same thing for you next. Leave your number. Give a message like you're doing something of value to somebody else at the moment, and we can do the same thing for you next. Leave your number. People are writing me and say, oh my gosh, Boaz, people are commenting on my messages. They're leaving better messages than ever before. They're returning my phone calls. Why? Because you sound different. Anybody agree this one is big? This is huge. You have an opportunity. Did you notice by now that everything I share with you is to give you an edge? I want to give you a little bit of an edge to make you just a little different than everybody else, because a little difference can make a whole lot of difference in success. So change your voice message. I gave this idea to somebody the other day, and I called them 2 days later, returned a phone call, and they'd already changed their phone message. I almost fainted. Oh my gosh, that is really powerful. Where'd they get that? I gave them to them, but it worked. It worked. All right, so change your voicemail. Number 9, intercompany. You ever notice we get involved in all kinds of projects, and we may not have even smiled for 1 minute, and it's already the end of the day? What if we had a video of each of us throughout the whole day? How much did I smile today? Well, it looks like none. How about walking around your whole office first thing in the morning and saying hi to everybody in a smile? Good morning, glad to see you. I'm glad you're here. Good morning. Carnegie said, force yourself to smile 15 minutes a day and watch what it does to your universe. Just watch what it does. And where should that start? In the mirror first thing in the morning with us, and then to our families, and then to people at work. Just smile and watch what happens. And then I got this idea from watching a documentary on CNBC on hotels. When you have a meeting with 2 or more people at your company, Start the meeting by saying, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. It changes the tone of everything. And if your staff is not used to you talking like that, say, I've decided from now on, I see all of you at a different level. So from now on, you're going to find me starting our meetings by saying, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. At Ritz-Carlton, their theory is, we are ladies and gentlemen serving ladies and gentlemen. How many of you think this one alone is valuable? I do. I get notes back from people that say, my gosh, our meetings have taken a whole new tone because our people feel that we respect them at a whole new level. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm so glad you're here today. Ladies and gentlemen. All right, I'm going to go around for a couple of tables. Tell me which marketing idea you like. Tell me what are the marketing ideas you like. Is it the USP, the handwritten note cards, the videos? And by the way, did I mention a while ago you could have your own television network? I'm not sure I made a point of that a while ago. I just don't know if I made a point of that, so just want to make sure you got that. So tell me, which one of the marketing ideas do you like? Is it the USP? What do we like? Tell me one marketing idea you like.
Videos.
Videos, what do we like?
The employee meetings.
Employee meetings. Can we turn this up just a little bit, Nick?
The handwritten note cards.
Exactly. What do we like? One idea.
Handwritten note cards.
Absolutely.
Triple handwritten.
And
Well, I want to say handwritten note cards.
you
but
can.
everybody else- okay,
No, you
handwritten note
can.
cards.
That turns out to be one of the most productive things in my seminars. People do it. So if that's all you do from today, it'll change your life. What do we like, Jake?
Same thing, handwritten note cards.
And what do we like, Bruce?
I like the handwritten note cards.
Excellent.
USP.
Yeah. And
My voicemail.
yeah, change your voicemail. And Jim?
Handwritten note card.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Look, you don't have to do all these ideas. Just find one you like and say, that one I'm running with. Just start with one and go from there. Any questions about the marketing ideas? Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? All right, you have my email address. So if you have questions about your USP or anything like that, then let me know. Take a look also. Do we have the, you have a yellow sign. Do you notice the yellow sign? Anybody know where this sign appears? Football, Notre Dame, locker room. They go down the stairs, they touch the sign. Now their sign says, play like a champion today. I've chosen the ongoing, every day I play like a champion. So here's what I suggest you do. Have your IT people turn that into this. You got the basic words right there. They were prepared for you. But I'm telling you, don't even use that one, but use the format. Have your IT people make another one with your logo on it. When you get your USP, put it there. Heavy lamination, and then post it in hallways all over your company. Ask people when they go by to just touch it. Why are we doing that? I don't know, a fellow from Israel asked us to do it. Here's what happens in 1/1000th of a second when you either see or touch this sign. Every day is important. This is an important day, not a day to slough off I play. Life's like a game. I can either play well or not. Like a champion. How does a champion play? Great attitude, extra effort, and the whole analysis in 1/1000th of a second. And if people come to your office and ask about this, which they will if you've got it all over the place, David, what are all those signs you have all over your company here? Well, boys, that's how we operate for you, like a champion. Do you like our signs? Oh, they're very cool. Wait a minute, I may have some extras in my office. Of course he has. He got 4,000 of them. He'd love to give them away to everybody. And I walk away with his sign, and because it's got heavy lamination, that's important. Because it's got heavy lamination, I will not think to make my own. And I will post his sign with his logo in my office. And you will not know how powerful this is till you have done and you walk into a client's office and they've got your logo up on their wall. I gave this company this idea a year or two ago, downtown Sacramento. I came back to do another meeting for a group of CEOs. I went to the restroom and I was absolutely shocked. On everybody's cubicle, they had their signs with their logo. I almost fell over. It worked on me. It worked on me. It's powerful. And by the way, if any of you have young kids or grandkids, this can work on them too. CEO in Atlanta put up all over his company, also put one up on the doorpost going out to the garage where he took his boys to school every day. They were 11 and 13 a year and a half ago. Average students, nothing special. He starts touching the sign every morning on the way out to school. His boys start touching the sign every morning. A year and a half later, they're A students, top athletes, leaders in scouting. They have become what they have been touching. And you say, Boaz, sounds like a bunch of brainwashing. That's exactly what it is, efficiency breath. But in the right direction. in the right direction. How many of you would agree? All we as adults have to do to get brainwashed is watch radio or TV news or read the paper. Come on, come on. So we're going to get brainwashed. Let's get brainwashed in the right direction. Now, do any of you ever go to conventions and have a display booth for your company? Anybody have a display booth for your company sometimes? Okay, how'd you like to monopolize a convention easily? Here's how we did it. Chicago company. They bring me in to do this seminar for all the employees. They make the signs with their logo. Now, in their case, they also put their contact information at the bottom because they made an extra 1,000 of these signs. They plastered 100 of them on the back wall of their booth. It looked really weird. Everybody asked, what are all those signs you have back there? Well, that's how we operate for you. Do you like our signs? Oh, very cool. Here, take 3. They handed out 500 signs the first afternoon. You saw them walking around everywhere, just like you're seeing the yellow stuff all over everybody's table right now. But the next morning, these started showing up on other people's booths. Where did you get that? From those guys down there. They monopolized the convention with 1,000 of these signs. Who thinks that might be a cool idea? Very unfair, but I like it. Okay. So there we go. All right, everybody stand up again. Everybody stand up again. This time find someone you haven't hugged and go hug them. All right, sit down, sit down, sit down. "28 minutes to the end of the program. Please turn to page 3. All right, everybody. Yoo-hoo! Please turn to page 3. Page 3. Feel like Paul Harvey on the radio again. Anybody remember him? What a great broadcaster he was. Had the privilege of being on the same program with him years ago, and I'll never forget something he said. He said, how can we have self-government until we have self-discipline? And I thought, wow, isn't that powerful? We expect the government to balance the budget. I'd like to take a survey, and in a moment I'll ask all of you to close your eyes, and I will ask a question. I'm going to ask, how many of you operate on a personal monthly written budget at home? Everybody please close your eyes. Everybody close your eyes so nobody will see anything. Those of you who operate on a personal monthly budget written at home, raise your hands. Please put your hands down. About the same percentages I always get. Less than 40% of the people operate on a written monthly budget. Before I started doing that, my money was in havoc. Personal opinion. Please write down, it's not how much I make, it's how much I keep. Who would agree with me? That's not how much we make. Did you ever notice if you get a raise, your expenses go up? So what good was it when I finally got the lesson that it's not how much I make, it's how much I keep? So back to the Persian merchants of 6,000 years ago, they said, please write down, a part of all I earn is mine to keep. A part of all I earn is mine to keep. Tell me this, if you paid everybody in a given month, you paid the mortgage payment, the car, you paid the shoemaker, the grocery store, the dry cleaner, you paid everybody, okay? You paid everybody, and there was nothing left over. Please tell me how much of what you earned was yours to keep? Nothing. And you get to do it again next month. How fun is that? Okay? So start by paying yourself first. Your first bill should be to your savings. I don't care if you've not saved since the turn of the century. How about $25 a month? Is that too much? 20. I'm willing to negotiate. Start somewhere, but you become the first one in line rather than the last one in line. And then when did we all get so carried away trying to impress each other with our fancy cars and fancy houses, and we were all going broke trying to impress each other? Okay, I've decided I don't need to impress anybody. The only place I want to be impressive is in my bank when I deposit stuff, okay? That's the only place I really want to be famous. And so when I lost a fortune in real estate, I literally start over again with money, just 4.5 years ago. So here's what I did. See if this program might have some potential. I started paying in cash. I paid off my debts. I started living a little below my means, and I started saving money. I think this program has potential. I don't know. I'm just saying, I think it has potential. It certainly has worked for me. And I also made a list of what not to do. I don't use credit cards. Oh yeah, I've got one in my wallet. I hardly ever use it. I think it's set to $10 a month to give a donation to PBS, and I pay it off every month. Why? Because that makes it possible for me to get more houses in Memphis. You know, Elvis may have left the building, but I'm buying it. It's so cool, it's so cool. All right, but the point is I operate on a debit card. On a debit card, that's real money. If you really want to buy something on a credit card, and listen, I've done it. I've made all the mistakes. Come on. My idea of high finance years ago was to pay my Visa bill with my MasterCard. Please, I've been there, okay? Okay. So now if I want to buy something on an impulse with a credit card, which I've got one in my wallet because I've got plenty of room on it, I only charge $10 a month. I get a picture of what I want, and I put it on the refrigerator for 30 days. And if at the end of 30 days I still want it, I go charge it. But I always look and say, what was I thinking? Hello? Hello? Why is it wrong to say anymore, I'm saving for something? Why did that get to be old? Who agrees with me? There's nothing wrong with that, am I right? Yeah, I'm saving for that. I'm saving for that. And I can afford at this point to buy whatever I want to, but I am disciplined to say I will buy this out of my next budget. And I'm doing it with something so simple as I want to get a folding bicycle, because so if I want to go somewhere to the park somewhere, I can just unfold it and so forth. And so I found one that only cost $195 by Schwinn, fine. But I'm putting it into next month's budget. I can afford to do it today, and I wouldn't even breathe hard. But it's the discipline that makes all the difference in the world. So I'm buying it out of my budget in March. It goes into that list, into miscellaneous stuff. It doesn't mean I can't do things, but I'm not going to do them all at one time. So please write down, I am the bank of me. I am the bank of me. If you think about it, all of us in our lifetimes, we're in America, richest country in the world. We all go through a lot of money in our lifetime. Would you agree? We all go through a lot of money. Some people just keep more of it. How would you explain the little old librarian in Vermont? She never made much money in any given year. She just retired. After 40 years, she's got over $500,000 in the bank. How did she do that? She kept some of what she got with every paycheck. So I've decided I don't need to impress anybody with any fancy houses or fancy cars. I just want to be able to sleep at night. And so that's what I do. I operate on a monthly budget. And if it doesn't fit in this month's budget, next month. Fine. Nothing wrong with that. So you are the bank of you, operated like a real bank. So if you wanted to buy this on impulse and you were the president of your own bank and your alter ego came to you for a loan, because that's what a credit card purchase is, isn't it? Isn't it? It's a loan. And boy, some of the interest rates those guys get. Oh my gosh, they put the mob to shame. 22% interest rate. At least with the mob, you know, if you don't pay back, they'll break your kneecaps. But these guys break you emotionally. And I'm not sure which is worse, okay? So work with me on this. Oh, by the way, since everything is confidential, I feel we can talk here, okay? I will tell you, my Uncle Tanus was part of the mob. Yes, my Uncle Tanus. He was part of the Jewish division, the Kosher Nostra. He actually used to blow up cars for them until he hurt his lips. Let's go to the Tiberius success formula. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Page 3. So when I started attending seminars by some of the biggest speakers in the world around 1980, these people looked good, sounded good, probably smelled good, got everybody all excited. But I'd ask myself a few days later, I'd say, Rauschwerger, which is a lot to say, what did you get out of that event that you're using every day on a regular basis to improve your life? And I couldn't tell you anything. I thought, whoa, that's kind of strange. Hold it. I asked other people. I said, all of you attended the big seminar with me the other day. You all heard the big speaker. Tell me honestly, did any one of you get anything out of that you're actually using every day on a regular basis to improve your life? And nobody could tell me a thing. I thought, what a waste of time. Hey, we should have done something else. We could have gone bowling. At least then we could have pinned something down. Thank you. So I created the Tiberius success formula. If you want to improve your attitude, your relationships, your finances, or your career, this will do it. Much of this will take less than 8 minutes a day. Named after the city of Tiberias, where I lived on the shore of the Sea of Galilee. By the way, if you're either religious in your Christianity or a history buff, you got to go to Israel. It'll change your life. It will change your life. I think there's a big difference between reading about your Mount of the Beatitudes and standing on it. Because if you're standing on the Mount of the Beatitudes, all you have to do is look over in that direction. There's the Sea of Galilee, and right at that spot is where the miracle of the fish occurred. I used to go fishing right there. Now, for me, there was no miracle that day, but anyway, there we go. So, 6 steps. Number 1 is affirmations. Everybody's an expert at this. I can't get ahead. I don't exercise. I don't eat right. Those are great affirmations in the wrong direction. In a moment, I'll write positive affirmations for every one of you. Number 2, the 30-day prosperity plan. This is not a buying spree. What does the average person do first thing in the morning? Turn on radio or television news, read the paper. It's full of murder and mayhem. Who gets that? It's full of murder and mayhem. When I was a newscaster, our slogan was, if it bleeds, it leads. Okay? That's what it was. Yeah. So don't watch a late TV news before you fall asleep. It's full of violence. Have a nice night. But let's say I wake up and I read about a famine in Africa. I'm not saying I shouldn't be compassionate, but excuse me, what can I do about it this morning? Later in the week, I could donate time or money. But this morning, I come to work and I'm sluggish to all of you. I don't know, it's fine when I woke up. I'm just not feeling very good. It's what I read in the paper. So stop the paper for a while. Turn off radio or television news in the morning. If something major happens, someone will let you know. Instead, get some upbeat music. Anybody ever see the theater production or the movie Mamma Mia? Anybody see it? Anybody? Are you the dancing queens? Yeah. I cannot listen to that music and not feel better. Or get a CD by a famous speaker, Robert Schuller, Zig Ziglar, Boaz Rauschwerger. Listen to something positive first thing in the morning. Now, how many of you, with my enthusiasm, if it was possible, would love for me to come by your house just for 2 minutes every morning and get you started in the right mood? How many would like that? How many like every hand should go up? I'm really good. Work with me. Okay. So what I created, 2 very popular CDs. One is ironically called the 30-Day Prosperity Plan. 2-minute messages for every day of the year, and each one is dated according to the day of the month. So you would punch in today track number 27, and I say, good morning, welcome to the 27th day of the month. Yes, I am that up on the CD. I have to take uppers just to come down. You know what I'm talking about? And then if you don't pay much attention to today's message, am I worried? Heck no, you can get the same message on the 27th of next month. So if I guaranteed that that CD could change your life for the better, and if it was reasonably priced, would you all be open to maybe buying that? You don't have to, because if you want to get a free copy of it on the way out, just sign up, and this organization will get you one free. How's that? Give a hand to the organization for doing this. Hello? Hello? And how many of you either have kids or grandkids between the ages of 4 and 10? Anybody have some kids like that? Then you'll want to sign up for the second CD, which is called the Can Do Program for Kids. 31 messages that any parent would love their child or grandchild between the ages of 4 and 10 to get. Smiling, being a good friend, being considerate, love. All those concepts that any parent would love their child to have, they're going to hear them every day of the year. And you can get the Can Do Program for Kids on the second sign-up sheet out there, also free to you. Okay? So there you are. Step number 3 is readings. I already covered this a while ago. Don't read 3 chapters and put it down. How about a page a day in each book? When you get through, read them over again. Just a page a day in each book. Exercise and eating right. Don't be like a friend of mine. His idea of exercise was to fill the tub, pull the plug, and fight the current. That is just not exercise. You know what I mean? That is just not exercise. But if you've not exercised since the turn of the century and we're 16 minutes away from the end of the program, I'm not going to suggest you join a gym and go down there 3 times a week and you never show up. How about a walk 15 minutes twice a week? Oh, boys, anybody could do that. Great. How about anybody sitting in your chair? Start there. Now, I've been to cardiac intensive care, and it's not a pretty place. I've almost died 3 times in my life. I'm fine now, but when I tell you I'm glad to see you, frankly, I'm glad to see anybody. Okay, I'm alive. The first time at the age of 20, I fell asleep at the wheel of a big car on Interstate 70 in Missouri, and I went off a hill. And I flipped end over end the long way, it crashed, I flew out, broke my pelvic bone, ruptured my spleen. They weren't sure I was going to live. And 2 months later, I was back in college, good as new. Attitude is everything. Second time, at the age of 29, I walked into a hospital emergency room in Oklahoma, went into cardiac arrest with a heartbeat at 400 beats a minute. They hit me with electricity at the right second, saved my life. I had no heart damage whatsoever. They discovered a rare heart condition, which was cured in 1991 in San Diego in open heart surgery the second day, because the first day the anesthesiologist accidentally cut my carotid artery. It's okay, I lived. Please write down. It's not what happens, it's how I react. Now come on, rotten things happen to all of us, and I'm sorry it has happened. But the only thing we have now is the reaction. Am I right? I mean, it's happened. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So I simply asked the doctors to be a little more careful the second day. Please! They had knives, I had no weapons. And the second day they operated, they cured me of my heart condition. I don't have a pacemaker, I don't take any pills, I have no limitations. And when I'm not traveling, I do a treadmill at 6.5 miles an hour for 30 minutes. Not because I have to, because I can, okay? So I've seen people who were able to walk up a flight of stairs, have a massive heart attack, half their heart is blown out, the next day they can't even lift their foot up off the bed. And if you think I'm exaggerating, just try it. So now that 15-minute walk twice a week is a good program, isn't it? Thank you. Okay, point number 5, the Fortune Fund. The Fortune Fund. I told you I used to have a bad relationship with money. I have changed. Here's how you change your relationship with money. You see, credit cards and checks to your subconscious are like monopoly. Cash is real. Carry a $100 bill. Every time I look at my wallet, I see the $100 bill. It makes me feel prosperous. Get a $100 bill. I know what some of you are saying, boys, I can't put together a $100 bill. Okay, we're officially telling you that 24 hours from now, you're going to get shot to death if you don't bring a $100 bill with you. So if your life depended on it, would you bring it? Of course you would. Your financial life does, so get one. If you have to sell some kids, whatever you do, just get a $100 bill. Okay. I know some of you are not going to get as much as you wanted to for them. Okay, put some 20s around the house. I didn't, not with mine, so I'm telling you, it didn't work. Okay, some 20s around the house, on the end table by the bed, on the counter of the bathroom, the counter of the kitchen. If you have teenagers, tape it down real good. Please write down, whatever I focus on expands. Whatever I focus on expands, and most people are focusing on lack of. I want your mind to focus on prosperity. Cash is everywhere. And to put a dollar bill in an envelope every day. Say, I'm richer today than I was yesterday. Step number 6 in the formula. And by the way, just for the heck of it, the audio CD that you're going to be signing up for at the end of each day's 2-minute message, I will remind you of this formula 365 days a year. I'll say, before listening to this, you should have read your affirmations. Next is this, and this. I'll remind you of this formula every day of the year. Step number 6. Please write down, what is my why? W-H-Y. A reason to do better. Remember I said the word reasons earlier in the morning? A reason for you to do better. This is directly out of Think and Grow Rich. Napoleon Hill said, get a picture of your next reward. Get a picture of your next reward. This is an island off of Belize where I was flown to speak by a Houston company a few years ago. It's a 10-minute hop out of Belize City. Only 40 guests at any one time. You like to play golf, you can play day or night. The food is amazing, the snorkeling is beyond. For my next reward, I'm going back to Key Chapel. Now, if you want to put goal setting on steroids, watch this. On the flip side are my current goals. On the flip side are my current goals. I only type a few things I can put on the back of the card. I don't want a long list. Just a few goals. Put it back to back. I walked into FedEx office, and $1.43 later, I've got a card just like this. Only about 2% of the people in the world can show you something like this, and watch how they're doing. This is how I came back from losing everything financially. Last Monday, I closed on my 7th house in Memphis. Unbelievable. I like you all, and you've shown a high level of intelligence to laugh at my humor, so I'm going to share with you the opening line of my card. It is powerful. Get ready to change your life. Please write down, everything I touch prospers and succeeds. Isn't that strong? Everything I touch prospers and succeeds. So let's add a few other affirmations. I'm going to give you a variety of affirmations. If one of these applies to you, you'll want to add it to your card. Let's say you want to lose weight. Here are the affirmations. I eat healthy every day and enjoy exercising regularly. I eat healthy every day and enjoy exercising regularly. Notice I didn't say anything about diets. I don't like the word diet. First 3 letters, not good. Okay, I eat healthy every day and I enjoy exercising regularly. If you want to manage your money better, write down, I'm an expert money manager. I'm an expert money manager. Well, would an expert money manager buy that on credit? No! What are you talking about? If you want to have a better attitude, then say, I have a great attitude every day. If you want to create better relationships, I create great relationships everywhere I go. You might add, I'm a doctor of human relations. Whatever you want to change, write it as if it's already done. You want to be a better listener? From Dale Carnegie, write down, I am an active listener. That's the word that got me. I am an active listener. If you want to attract more opportunities, then say, I'm an opportunity magnet. Declare exactly what you want as if it's already done. And then add an emotion, I am excited. But do not share this card with anybody who's part of the wrong union. Everybody you know is part of either the building crew or the wrecking crew. You know who they are. Don't share this with anybody who's part of the wrecking crew. Anybody else want me to write an affirmation for you? What do you want to change? What would you change about you? If you could change one thing, what frustrates you? Let's go to this table. What would it be? Michelle, what would you change? I wish I was more what? More confident, more outgoing, more patient, more peaceful, a better parent, husband. I'm sorry? I didn't understand. More aggressive. Okay, I don't like the word aggressive because it gives me a little, how about assertive? Yeah, it still means I'm almost overbearing. Let me give you a different variation of that. How about I create great opportunities? You see, I'm just very careful with the words because assertive, aggressive, those don't do much good. But I create great opportunities or I make things happen. I make good things happen. How's that? Okay, so you declare that every morning. Don't analyze it. Just do it for 90 days and watch, and you will be exactly what you said. Greg, what would you change? I wish I was more what? Okay, so please write down, I am highly diplomatic. You write that down, you say morning and evening. Before you know it, you're acting as if. And the Carnegie book will help you with that. Tim, what would you change? Excellent. Please write down, I'm an expert at managing my time. I'm an expert at managing my time. And by the way, anybody put some things off like I used to? Anybody procrastinate a little too much? I was going to write a whole book on it and I kept putting it off. Okay, here's the affirmation that has helped me tremendously. You might want to write this down. I always do the most valuable thing first and quickly. I always do the most valuable thing, singular, first and quickly. Don't we always have choices? Well, I can do A or B. And why do I do A? Because I want to get it off my list. But B was more valuable. You see? And B becomes a bigger deal a month from now. I should have done it right then. So because I've said that affirmation so many times, I go immediately to B. Well, of course that one's more valuable. What am I talking about? So we use the word valuable. I always do the most valuable thing first and quickly. That really got me clear to that. Anybody else want me to write an affirmation for you? Okay, you get how we're doing this? Just state what you want as if it's already done. So you would read your card first thing in the morning, look at the picture, and then you would put on the CD of my message. So put it on at home right after you read your affirmations. 2 minutes is all I'll spend with you each morning. And people write to me and say, boys, I don't pay much attention in the morning, but I always find myself using that idea later in the day. Because one day I talked about setting goals, attitude, being a good listener, all those things that are very valuable. 31 messages, and I repeat them 12 times a year. So any questions about this? Any questions about this? All right, a quick sales training technique to close. If you've done any kind of a presentation in front of 1 or 20 people, don't do your own summary. Don't do your own summary. Because I can have an elaborate presentation here. I've got a couple of different ideas here. And I'm focusing more on idea 1. You may have liked idea 2. So I'm taking you off track. It's much better to have your audience do your summary for you, whether it's 1 or 20 people. And here's the money line. Please write down, what did you like best about my presentation? What did you like best about my presentation? Notice I didn't say, how did you feel about it? That's a judgment call. I liked it, I didn't like it. But when you ask someone, what did you like best about my presentation, you're forcing them to come up with something good about you. So, what I want to do, we're not going to go around the whole room, but let's begin right over here in this table back here. What did you all like best about my presentation? Please speak out. What did you like best about this morning? That? My energy, that is a choice, isn't it? What do we like?
Enthusiasm.
Yeah?
Introducing people.
Right, and didn't we learn a lot in a very short time? Because we asked the 5 questions. Jack, what did you like best about this morning?
Value. Putting it on myself.
Okay, well, let me ask further. What's one idea that you're going to implement first? Is it the 5 questions, the rules of answers, the sign, the TV show?
Writing it down as if it was already done.
Exactly. And if that's all you do, you've got more you bargain for. Cam, what did you like best about this morning?
You keeping it upbeat and moving along.
And you notice, we have moving every 30 minutes. It kept everybody moving. That's important. Otherwise, if you've been sitting here for 3 hours, I guarantee everybody's exhausted. Brenda, what did you like best about this morning? Thank you. A lady of wisdom. She liked my humor. And what did you like, Cassidy?
I still think the rules for successful meetings.
Yeah. Very simple. Very simple. What did you like best about this morning, Jim?
I like just a little truisms. Attitude of everything, improvement, speed of leader.
Exactly. And notice I used Carnegie words. I said, you may want to write that down. I never ordered you to write. Carnegie said, put the grease in the wheel that makes the wagon roll more smoothly. Too many people would gravel on the wheel and they wonder why it fell off the wagon. Victor, what did you like best about this morning?
Reminding me of the 2 books that I have on my bookshelf that I haven't read for a while.
So we got that. So we've already started today. Okay, it's not someday. What did I like? Oh, I'm sorry.
Selling proposition, but the way that you put flesh on it, not just saying what it is, but the way that you work it out.
Exactly. Bruce, what did I like best?
I just like your energy level and just the plethora of ideas that you do.
But again, isn't energy a choice?
I'm sorry?
Energy is a choice. Because if I come in saying I'm really tired, I've just chosen to buy into that. What do we like, Jake? What I do?
Keep your power and we folks go nice to all kinds of people out there.
The what?
Your photo of where you're going.
Yeah. Exactly. Get a picture of what you want. Oh, and by the way, speaking of photos, let's do one other marketing technique in your emails. Please write down an email is a letter. An email is a letter. Where did common courtesy get thrown under the bus? From the Carnegie book, please write down to each of us. The most important thing in life is our name. To each of us, the most important thing in life is our name. Please address people by name on every single email. I don't care if it's a 10th one I'm doing to you in a row. You're always going to find me addressing you by name. Because to each of us, the most important thing in life is our name. You want to get an email from somebody and they just start talking, they don't even address you? Anybody get bugged by that? I get turned off. Anybody? I do. I do. I look at the address. Maybe it wasn't to me, because it wasn't addressed to me. And by the way, if you want to save some time, if you have a series of emails, please change the subject line every time you change subject. Anybody ever go through 20 emails for one thing? Change the subject line. And then, let's add a little more power to your emails. In your signature, please put your street address there of your company. I can't tell you how many times I'm looking up area codes. When I know you were there, and I don't know where you are, makes you look like a real business. Put your street address there. And then if it does not come as an attachment, add your picture to your signature. Add your picture to your signature. People write to me and say, boys, every time I get your email, I see your smiling face, I like it. Why are they commenting on that? Because they like it. Put your signature, your picture in your signature. Let's make things personal, all right? Otherwise, we look like everybody else. I don't want you to look like anybody else, all right? Any questions about what we're doing today? Any questions? Any questions? How many of you guys, show of hands, feel this was a great and valuable way to spend your morning today? So give the organization that put all this together a nice round of applause. Everybody stand up. I can hear two different types of people. Very majority of people, the cows out in the field grazing, waiting for somebody to show you the way. That's not you all. You all are like rhinos. 2 inches in, damn the torpedoes. Doesn't matter what the government is doing, what the weather is doing, what the economy is doing. That's what you're doing in your brain. That's what this is all about. So in a moment I'm going to ask you, do we have any rhinos? I want you to put your fist up in the air or charge so loud the entire building will shake. Do it with enthusiasm and we'll have lunch. Otherwise, no food. Okay? So with lots of enthusiasm, do we have any rhinos? Charge! Thank you.
I'm going to sit down for just a minute. There's a couple of closing comments I'd like to make. First of all, if you would please, we'll take just 30 seconds. There's an evaluation form in the packets, the last page, I believe. And just let us know how we're doing. How Boaz did, Gal, if he wants to make, how he's doing connected with you. How we're doing, the Chico Business Group and the forums and so forth, the subject matter and the rest of that. If you would do that, and then there's 2 people that we need to recognize this morning that without whose help this event never could happen. And the first is Ryan Cox. Ryan, did you stand up? She put all this together. And then Tina, my executive assistant, Tina Rosenquist, and that I share with Phil. And she's not here. She's over preparing lunch for the CBG team, but she did a great job too. And finally, Boaz, as a business community, we have selected a very special gift for you to remember our time together this morning. Has anybody just noticed the little lamp that's under the podium? It's a very special lamp. It's been here shining all morning as Boaz has been talking. When he and I had breakfast, I found out that he fished in the Sea of Galilee as a boy. I had no idea about that. It's just amazing how some things come together. This lamp is the fish lamp, and it was created by Mick Swartz, who is a local artist that works in pottery. And I don't know if you've seen his work before, but it's all authentic, it's original. And we just felt that, this morning, the old axiom, you can give a person a fish, you feed them for a day. You teach a person to fish, and you feed them for a lifetime. And so the reality is that this little fish light is a symbol of you teaching us to fish with the application that we could do it as a lifetime. So on behalf of this entire business community, this is our gift to you. We've got one all packaged up for you.
Oh my gosh,
This is
thank
our
you.
gift for you to remember us by.
Wow.
And every time you have that little light shining, remember Chico.
Thank you so much.
Last thing is just write down on your schedule, September 25th, because that's when this CBG is going to have its next all-community event, and it's going to be powerful. So thank you all for being here today, and for contributing, and for taking everything you've